Today on Leaf by Leaf, the epigrams of Oscar Wilde, and a giveaway of the same book. This book came to my attention when I was digging around for more aphoristic literature to add to my collection. If you've been following the series, you know that I like to read epigrams and aphorisms and apothegms, and I have a video on La Rochefoucauld and also Lichtenberg. To be clear, Oscar Wilde did not publish a book called The Epigrams. This is the result of Alvin Redmond's labor of love to bring together all the material from Oscar Wilde's output, which is rather sizable. It's more than just the importance of being earnest and a picture of Dorian Gray, and bring them together into one compendium. As he says in the preface, the following collection of sayings by Oscar Wilde has been taken from his published works, lectures, letters, and fragmentary records of his conversation left by his many biographers. This book also contains an introduction by Wilde's son. It was first published in 1952, but this is the 1995 reissue by Bracken Books in hardcover. This is the exact book that the winner of the giveaway will get. As you can see, the binding is tight. It has a little bit of foxing around the edges. I mean, it's definitely got age on it, but it's completely unmarked. I've checked every page. There are no markings. No person's name in there. The spine is not cracked. The jacket is intact. It just so happens that due to complications in the postal service, I ended up with 2 copies. And as I read through these, the genius of Oscar Wilde was such that I want to share it with somebody. I want to share it with all of you. But what better way than to supplement this video with a giveaway? So at the end of the video, I will be selecting a name. Thank you to everyone who entered, and I wish you all the best of statistical luck. One thing I love about this book is that not only do you get a nice preface and an introduction from his son, but all of the material culled from Wilde's output is arranged thematically. So you get men, women, people, art, life, literature, music, parents, marriage. But then each of those thematic sections is prefaced with contextual material that really brings not only Wilde, but the subsequent selections to life. For example, the little preface to the section on art says, "To Wilde, art was more real than life, and he insisted that nature imitated art." And at the beginning of the section on religion, it says, "During his early travels in Italy, he was impressed by the ceremony and pageantry of the Catholic Church and expressed his admiration of the Catholic faith. Paradoxically, later he became a Freemason. But in 1900, when in Rome, he was blessed by the Pope not once, but 7 times. Although it was not until he lay dying that he was converted, but he died as he lived, a pagan." So let's check out a selection of these epigrams. "I delight in men over 70. They always offer one the devotion of a lifetime. When a man acts, he is a puppet. When he describes, he is a poet. The ideal man, he should always say much more than he means, and always mean much more than he says. Women are meant to be loved, not to be understood. Every woman is a rebel, and usually in wild revolt against herself. I am sick of women who love me. Women who hate me are much more interesting." And there's a contextual perspective at the beginning of this section informs us that women loved Oscar Wilde, especially American women. "People who want to say merely what is sensible should say it to themselves before they come down to breakfast in the morning, never after. Nowadays, people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. All art is quite useless. Bad artists always admire each other's work. No great artist ever sees things as they really are. If he did, he would cease to be an artist. Whatever is popular is wrong. One's real life is so often the life that one does not lead. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist, that is all. Give me the luxuries and anyone can have the necessities. In this world there are only 2 tragedies. One is not getting what one wants, and the other is getting it. I never travel without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read in the train. A true artist takes no notice whatever of the public. The public to him are non-existent. He leaves that to the popular novelist. I have no desire to be a popular novelist. It is far too easy. Literature always anticipates life. It does not copy it, but molds it to its purpose. If one cannot enjoy reading a book over and over again, there is no use in reading it at all. Children begin by loving their parents. After a time, they judge them. Rarely, if ever, do they forgive them. Women always become like their mothers. That is their tragedy. No man does. That's his. Men always want to be a woman's first love. That is their clumsy vanity. Women have a more subtle instinct about things. What they like is to be a man's last romance. It is the confession, not the priest, that gives us absolution. Moderation is a fatal thing. Nothing succeeds like excess. One should always play fair when one has the winning cards. I never put off tomorrow what I can possibly do the day after. Perhaps, after all, America has never been discovered. I myself would say that it had merely been detected. Patriotism is the virtue of the vicious. Good kings are the only dangerous enemies that modern democracy has. It is only the shallow people who do not judge by appearances. I can resist everything except temptation. It is exactly because a man cannot do a thing that he is the proper judge of it. Selfishness is not living as one wishes to live. It is asking others to live as one wishes to live. Man is least himself when he talks in his own person. Give him a mask and he will tell you the truth. Caricature is the tribute mediocrity plays to genius. To the true cynic, nothing is ever revealed. The only possible form of exercise is to talk, not to walk. Experience is the name everyone gives to their mistakes. As you can see, this is but a brief selection of its roughly 250 pages, minus the introductory material and the bibliography and notes at the end. It also has transcripts from the actual courtroom trials between Oscar Wilde and his prosecutor that show a Wilde so clever, so witty, in the face of his downfall and his condemnation, that it's hard to believe that this is real and not fiction. All right, so let's pick the winner. You can see from this little pie chart I made, by far the biggest responses were from Instagram and YouTube. My Twitter engagement is admittedly lacking. Just at 98, we have to subtract 1 for the header row. So let's go, and we will set the min at row 2 and the max at row 99. And we're going to hit generate. 86. Let's see who 86 is. 86 is Chihab Rida from YouTube. So I will be getting in touch with you. Unless you get in touch with me first, you are the winner of the Epigrams of Oscar Wilde book giveaway, my first ever book giveaway here on the channel. So I'll be getting in touch with you about shipping information. Congratulations, and thank you all for entering into the drawing and for enjoying these witticisms of Oscar Wilde.